Good morning. I'm Randy Fulmer, Regional Vice President for the Northeast with First Choice. I'm here at the In Motion conference in National Harbor, Maryland today, and happy to have along with me Bill Neofes, one of our great Pennsylvania members. And I wanted to take some time to just chat with Bill about his experience with First Choice and how things have gone for him in the agency. So Bill, welcome. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Appreciate it, Randy.
Thought maybe I'd start out just kind of ask you a little background.
Sure.
Tell us about the agency, kind of how it started, what you're doing.
Second generation. My father, 1960 started. He was a part-time agent with Nationwide, full-time in 64. I was hired directly by Nationwide in 1989. And then, so two agencies there, and then within 10 years we merged them. And then he worked for me till he was 85 because that's what people in that generation did.
Okay.
And then moved forward from there. And then just to fast forward to when we were moving into the independent space, Nationwide gave us kind of a template. They were very helpful as to what we were going to expect. Mm-hmm. But it was really First Choice that taught us how to turn the lights on and be able to function in the independent space. Okay. The agency itself, I've got 4 full-time staff members, primarily property and casualty, probably 80% personal lines, 20% commercial lines. Again, we've built it out into the independent space with First Choice's help. Okay. So represent multiple carriers now. And 31 years for myself. Captive, 5 years in the independent space. Okay. And I started in grade school. Now, you're about to say that.
No, but I kind of a follow-up to that. The 5 years is kind of an interesting, because I'm curious the evolution that's taken place in those 5 years. Certainly the industry has rapidly changed in that time period. And we've been through a pandemic as well. But how's the agency kind of evolved through that time?
Yeah, that's a great question because it impacted us. I sent everybody home March 13th, 2020, and we've remained as a remote agency. So we've been able to adapt into that model, which turns out I was ahead of the curve because that seems to be preference for folks trying to hire now. So once we figured out the technology with First Choice's help, we were able to do that. But our first steps into the independent space, it was learning to write with our other hand, right? Because everything had always been taken care of for us, IT, client management, all that sort of thing. So First Choice was just invaluable. I remember the first conference I went to was in Charlotte, and I think the group picture was like 75 people, and we have like 600 here today. So First Choice has evolved along with everybody else, but that was First Choice lining up vendors for us. They all presented. Client management, IT, marketing. We didn't have to do any of that stuff. So that, for us, that was the sea change, right? Like we had to learn all that stuff.
Sure.
And would not have been able to do that without First Choice's help.
You've made a couple of comments about how First Choice has helped, and I appreciate that.
Sure.
Certainly.
Absolutely.
Any specific stories come to mind, a particular issue or situation that stands out?
I think it's philosophy. I think it's because First Choice is a consultative service. It's not transactional. And we realized as we moved into that independent space that we had become more of an advisor, more of a consultative presence in our members' lives. Again, like you and I have talked about, if someone comes in for price, they'll leave for price. You've got to give them something else, something value added. So I think the philosophy that First Choice has we've kind of evolved into that as well. And for a period of time, that wasn't the insurance industry. It wasn't looked on as a priority. So through education at point of sale, through reviews that we do with all our members every year, we've kind of moved into that space. So I think that was, and you and I have had that discussion, that's First Choice's philosophy, and we've kind of adopted that as well. So you
kind of expand on that. You've kind of embraced that consultative approach, is the way I like to say it.
Yep.
We try not to meddle in your agency or tell you how to do it.
Yep.
I like to think we stand there beside you along the way. Hopefully that's the experience you've
100%.
seen.
And I think what's unique about First Choice is they can assist across the spectrum of agents, whatever your footprint is. So I know you have agencies of all different scale. So, 2-3 million premium up to 120 million premium. And I think that's what's unique about First Choice is, regardless of where you're at in your journey or your footprint or your market focus, First Choice is going to be able to be of assistance, whether it's, again, through all these support services. Speaker yesterday talked about, succession planning, things like that. It's quote unquote cradle to grave, right? So if your first day, if you've been in it for 20 years, if you're 2 million, if you're 100 million, I think that's what makes First Choice unique, because they can offer help to anyone of any experience, any scale.
Good. Let's talk, we're kind of wrap it up here. We're at In Motion, our conference. And you mentioned earlier, it certainly has evolved in sheer size in the time. In my 4 years, it has also done that.
Yeah.
What specific values what do you take out of these, or what do you, maybe start back, why do you even come?
Yeah. So again, the agendas are great. So the breakout sessions are great. A ton of educational opportunities. The vendor fair, because I made 2 more connections that I had not made. And it's the difference between getting an email saying, hey, here's what we offer, we're partnering with First Choice, and stand there having a conversation. Okay. I think it's more powerful. It gets a better sense of what they're about, their culture. So that's been great. The other thing is just being able to network with other agents. We found during your breakout session, you guys presented a ton of great information. And then when you had us start to talk, we exchanged 3 things that no one knew, hey, that's a great idea, I haven't tried that. To me, that's the value. And my thought always was, like, if you get one idea from one of these things, that's a win. I've gotten a dozen. So I think that's the value of coming here. And again, the locations are always beautiful. The food is unreal. If it's important to somebody, the food's incredible. This area is great. But it's the opportunity to network with your fellow agents, fellow members, interact with the whole team at First Choice to see the effort they have, and then to see all these vendors. That's more than worth the trip.
Great to hear. I guess I'll end it with this.
Yeah.
If I was riding in an elevator with you as an agent, what would you say to me as to why I should consider First Choice?
The elevator pitch.
Yes.
I would think it's just the support, like A to Z. And again, I think, everyone comes into this different skill set. Like the former captives came in with none, so we had no idea. But if you have someone that's been an independent agent 25 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, there's something to offer there. Like you guys have something to offer. So and I think it's important, nobody knows everything. And as soon as you can come to terms with that, you can look to someone for some assistance. Sure. That to me would be, if someone's asking me, hey, why'd you join First Choice and why should I would say, listen, wherever you're at in your journey, they can be of assistance to you. So that would be, and I think the other thing, I hate to talk about money, but you guys don't touch our commission. Like you don't, because a lot of aggregators do. So like you don't make money unless the agents make money. So you're working for them to make money. You get some profit share, you get upper right quadrant, whatever. But the services you guys offer, you don't take it out of our end. And I think that's unique in this business. And that's why you guys are the largest aggregator. But that's what it is. You're working every day. And I tell Keith Captain this, you work every day on behalf of your members. And that's priceless. I mean, that's, so that philosophy, I think, that's a long elevator ride. But anyway, that's what I would have said. That's what I would have said.
No.
But again, anybody of any size, scale, experience, First Choice can help.
Great. Well, I thank you for your time today.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a pleasure as always connecting with you.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. I appreciate it.